After a very busy weekend with a full round of midweek fixtures ahead, La Liga's title race, early as it is, looks refreshingly bright. We've got 6 teams, Ali, separated by a solitary point at the very top, and Barcelona aren't one of them.
So what are you telling me, Russ?
I'm kind of trying to work out whether this is an anomaly that will pass because we're just 5 games in, or whether you see a few dark clouds out there for any of the recognised big 3.
Well, there are dark clouds, certainly. And it's more than dark clouds. There's rain and thunderstorms in some places. And these are teams that are in trouble. But they're in trouble to their standards. They're in trouble if you evaluate them to what they have been in the past. So Real Madrid is in trouble. Barcelona, yes, they are in trouble. Atletico Madrid had an opportunity to really create distance between them and Real Madrid and Barcelona, and they have dropped points over the last couple of weekends. So neither one of them are really looking like world beaters at this point. But I have to say, given what we know about these teams and the talent level that is available to all of these coaches and that's available out on the field, well, as much as I like Athletic Bilbao, as much as I like the story about Granada, as much as I like Real Sociedad, eventually those teams are simply going to drop back to reality. They're going to come back to the group, and you would think and would assume that Real Madrid and Barcelona and Atletico Madrid eventually would get on a run and start stringing some results together. It's great to see Bilbao playing well the way that they are. It's great to see Granada having the success that they're having. It's great to see Real Sociedad up there. Does it last? I don't think so. And to be quite honest with you, it's a tremendous start of the season for them, but I think the bigger story is how poor the other 3 have been.
How much of a difference does the introduction of Eden Hazard and the return of Lionel Messi make to this league table picture over the next, let's say, 5 or 6 games?
Well, a fit Eden Hazard and a fit Lionel Messi, guys at the top of their game, well, clearly are going to make a difference. They just haven't looked good. They haven't looked right. Whenever they have come on the field, they look like players that have been out for a while. And so, as rusty as they look, they still make a difference out on the field. If they're at their very best, well, certainly, of course, they're the difference between winning and losing games. It's what they have been to their clubs in the past. It's what Eden Hazard was to Chelsea. And Barcelona has been this, and Lionel Messi has been this for Barcelona for years now. And so, they're going to get better. They're going to improve. But that doesn't mean that they don't have holes and they don't have flaws. There are flaws out there for Barcelona. There are flaws out there for Real Madrid. And there are flaws for Atletico Madrid. And because there isn't any separation, as bad as Barcelona has been, and they have been bad. I mean, they have been terrible. All sorts of terrible. They're only 4 points back. And so you think if you're looking at it from the perspective of a glass half full, if you're a Barcelona fan, you're like, wait a minute. We have been horrendous. And yet we have a real opportunity that with a couple of results, we are where we need to be. And we're going to be playing some of these teams in front of us. We're going to be playing Sevilla in a couple of weeks. In a couple of weeks, that gives us an opportunity for us to get ourselves right. But in order to get yourself right, there's got to be confidence. There's got to be a level of play. There's got to be intensity. There's got to be urgency. And we really haven't seen much of that with consistency with Barcelona just yet. As for Real Madrid, a team that you don't know, quite honestly, what you're going to get. Zinedine Zidane must sit back and say, no idea what's coming today. And yet, Sevilla, a team that was flying, Real Madrid go there and they get a result. Because they have enough quality within the team to, at any given moment, pull out a performance. And that's what they did. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the prettiest. It was effective. It was pragmatic. It was practical. They get 3 points and move on. And if that's a version of Real Madrid that's going to work right now, well, then that's what Zidane is going to do. These teams will find ways to win games. And the other teams that are now in the top 4 and the top 6 may just find ways to come back to the group.
With Barcelona, Valverde's future has been a big topic of debate, and you've talked about the issues there that Real Madrid have got in terms of just finding their identity and being comfortable, being able to turn out the results that you would expect that team to turn out consistently. Which one of them do you think is going to fix their problems the soonest? And do you think that Barcelona require a managerial change in order to go on one of those deep, long runs?
Well, if they were going to do a managerial change, they're late for it. This should have happened after their season was over last year, meaning after Copa del Rey and everybody's going home, that's when you make the announcement and say, you know, Valverde has been great for us, but we're moving in a different direction. Not because they lost Copa del Rey final, but because of the debacle that they've had in back-to-back years in Champions League. And it's simply saying, We won the league. That's great. But the way that we lost Champions League is unacceptable. You can lose Champions League, but not the way that we did. And to do it in back-to-back years, I think that's damning for Valverde. But you didn't make the change then. Now you're hanging out with this guy. Well, if you're hanging out with this guy, you might as well stick with him for a while. Because here's the thing. Who's out there? Who's available? Who are you going to go get? Who's going to make a difference? What's a big name that is going to step in and is going to get the attention of Lionel Messi and everybody else? I don't know that guy is out there. I mean, you may consider the possibility of perhaps Luis Enrique, who left the national team picture because of his daughter's situation. His daughter sadly has now passed away. Does this mean that he's available? Is that a name that comes up? I don't know. It may feel too soon, but it's a name that certainly the players could rally around and think about the possibility of, man, we got to win this for this guy. If anybody deserves it, it's this guy, it's Luis Enrique. So maybe that's a rallying cry that you use if you're Barcelona, but I don't know that you're in the business of using the death of a child to rally a team together. And so I just think Barcelona right now, they just need to get consistent performances across the board. Defensively, they have to be better. It's too easy how they get scored upon. Out of the midfield, consistency. You don't really know what the rotation is there. So Valverde has to make that decision. Who are my guys that are going to play in the midfield? And then Lionel Messi's got to come in and he's got to score some goals. And so it's difficult times ahead for Barcelona. But the bright side for them is that it's difficult times ahead for Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid. They don't have themselves sorted out either. And so that gives Barcelona some time to try to close the gap.
Casting the big crystal ball ahead of you. You don't see any other side apart from the recognised big three finishing in the top 3 places?
Well, I mean, Sevilla had an opportunity to make a statement this weekend, and they didn't. And so I still think once everything clears, and the storm and the dark clouds that you're talking about, once those things just kind of go by, it's still going to be Atletico Madrid, and it's going to be Real Madrid, and it's going to be Barcelona, and a combination of the three as to who finished 1, 2, and 3. I don't think that these teams, Bilbao, Granada, and Sociedad, as good stories as they are right now, I don't think they have enough in their depth, they have enough in terms of consistency, and that they have enough to carry them throughout the course of the season. And I think that's the most important part. We're only 5 games in. It's 5 games. It's a long way to go. So people got to relax. But there's got to be performances and good results coming for the big 3.
Yeah, another opportunity for all of the sides in La Liga then to make up some more ground in this midweek. And ironically, we've got Osasuna facing up against Real Madrid. Osasuna took points off Barcelona. And we've got Barcelona going up against Villarreal, who took points off Real Madrid as well. Athletic Club, Granada, 2 teams in the top 3 right now, also victorious against Barcelona. They're getting results against the big teams, but will it last?
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.